This is Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome to another edition of Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. We are glad that you chose to join us this week. Last week, you may have watched Winnebago put up the highest point total so far this season. They set the bar pretty high, earning that second to last spot in our Sweet 16. That means there's only one spot left. That means one of these two teams will earn that last Sweet 16 spot. Could it be the Boylan Titans? Let's say hello to them. Boylan's participated 6 out of 7 years in the Quiz Bowl. Titans made it out of the first round 6 out of those 7 years. Last season, even found themselves in the Elite 8. I'm sure Will and the rest of the team would like to go a little bit farther than that this time around, but you have to get past this game first. Will, who's your starting lineup?
Well, I'm Will. To my right is Ben. To the right of him is Andrew. And at the end is Maddie.
Welcome to the Boylan Titans. But the Freeport Pretzels also want that last Sweet 16 spot. Freeport has a long history of representing the Pretzel City. They are back after taking a year off. We are glad that you are back. Aiden is their captain. Introduce us to your starting lineup, Aiden.
All right. To my right is Alex, David, and Ben.
Welcome to the Pretzels. Fun fact for this season, this is the first Nick 10 matchup that we've had so far in the first round. Could be exciting. So this is for Nick 10 bragging rights, at least for the first round, and that final spot, as I said, in the Sweet 16. We begin with the buzz-in round, so contestants, hands on your buzzers. The two most important rules: wait for me to call your name before you answer, and then say that answer loudly and clearly. All right, here we go. Deep breath. Here's our first question. What actress played Adelaide Wilson and her doppelganger in Us, pirate Maz Kanata in the Star Wars franchise, and war dog spy Nakia in Black Panther? She also won an Academy Award for 12 Years a Slave, Lupita Nyong'o. New question. What man who died at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis when he was shot by James Earl Ray in Will?
Martin Luther King Jr.
That's right. 1968 was when he was assassinated and earlier delivered his I Have a Dream speech. Boylan earns the first points of the game. What compound used to make rayon is a polymer made up of beta-linked glucose subunits and is the main constituent of the cell walls of plants? Will.
Starch.
Incorrect. Freeport, you could get these 10 points. Alex.
Chloroplast?
Incorrect. Cellulose. That was a good plant guess. We'll move on to a new question. What city in Boeotia, which according to legend was founded by Cadmus, was once ruled by King Laius, who was murdered by his son Oedipus? We probably all know that Oedipus story, right? He killed his dad, married his mom. Dr. Phil episode before Dr. Phil was even around, but the city that we needed was Thebes. New question. What inventor lends his name to the crank-powered machine gun that he developed in 1861, which was first used in the American Civil War? Will.
Lewis.
Incorrect. Freeport, you could get on the board with this. Alex.
Winchester?
Incorrect. That was a very good gun-related guess. Gatling is who we needed. Richard Gatling invented that machine gun. What term refers to any pair of molecules that have the same molecular formulas but different three-dimensional arrangements? Andrew.
Isomer?
That is correct. The different arrangement of atoms, and those are 10 points for Boylan. What French artist of the Romantic period painted The Massacre at Chios and Women of Algiers? Eugène Delacroix. New question. In what country did assailants allegedly shout DEA operation during the July 2021 assassination of its president, Jovenel Moïse, in Port-au-Prince? Will.
Haiti.
That is correct. Port-au-Prince, capital of Haiti. Those are your 10. In 2021, what defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders became the first active NFL player? Will.
Carl Nassib.
That is correct, to come out as gay, and those are your 10 points. What four-letter word identifies orders issued by a court, specific examples of which include those of mandamus, of certiorari, and of habeas corpus? Will.
Right.
Incorrect. Freeport, you could get these points. It was kind of a deep legal question, but it's a writ. Not a right, a writ. Writ of habeas corpus. I'm sure my mispronunciation may not have helped, but we move on to a new question. What man who was asked by Joseph Welch if he had, quote, no sense of decency, was a senator from Wisconsin who, in the 1950s, led anti-communist... Ben.
McCarthy?
That's correct. Anti-communist crusades. 10 more points. What statistical property is the difference between the largest and smallest values in a data set? Will.
Range.
That is the range, right? AP Stats might have helped with that one. 10 more. What author, who wrote about a man named Milkman Dead in Song of Solomon, wrote about a former slave haunted by the ghost of her daughter in Beloved? Buzzer means time's up. That was Toni Morrison. It also means time is up for the round. The Boylan's off to a really strong start, 60 points. Freeport has yet to get on the board, but we've got a lot of game left to play, Pretzels. There are 3 rounds. Our volleyball round is the next one, and it's coming up right after this break. We'll see you then. One round in, and Boylan's off to a strong start here, trying to earn that last spot in our Sweet 16. They have 60 points. Freeport doesn't have any points yet, but volleyball round, there's a lot available. Lightning round's a lot available. Bottom line is there's a lot of game to play. So don't let that 0 on the scoreboard right now fool you or discourage you. The volleyball is a back and forth round. We'll get to those questions in a minute, but first a very special thank you to our judge today, Brad Fisher, who is the head editor for the IHSA Scholastic Bowl State Series. He is our judge. Your advice and expertise, Brad, are invaluable to us. We really appreciate you being here. I've said this before, you make the game better being a part of it. So thanks for being here. Let's get to our volleyball round. It's a back and forth conferring round, so you can work as a team, but I have to hear the answers from the captains. Boylan, you're getting the first volleyball question this round. Will, are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. In 2020, Jules Rivera took over what long-running, ecologically focused comic strip whose title character is a wildlife photojournalist?
Garfield.
It's worth a guess. I did not know that was so ecologically focused. Maybe it's changed since his lasagna eating days, but it's Mark Trail. Tough current event question. Let's go to Freeport now for your first question of the round. What symbol, one of which is found in the key signatures of E minor and G major, resembles a pound sign and raises a pitch by half a step?
Sharp.
Yes, David was very, very insistent on that one. You got that quickly. The opposite of flat, right? Sharp, and Freeport's first points of the round and the game. Back to Boylan. What composer used an English horn to represent the Swan of Tuonela and wrote a tone poem about his country called Finlandia? Jean Sibelius is that composer. We have back-to-back music questions here. Let's try a different category and go to Freeport. What mountain, whose base town of Chamonix hosted the first Winter Olympics, is the highest point of France and has a name meaning White Mountain?
Matterhorn?
Incorrect. You're in the right region. Mont Blanc is that mountain's name. Back over to Boylan. What author described haughty socialite Blanche Ingram, who is invited to visit Thornfield Hall by Mr. Rochester in her 1847 novel, Jane Eyre?
Bronte.
Can you be more specific?
Charlotte Bronte.
That is correct. There are several Bronte sisters. You needed to get that one right on the money. You did. Those are your 10. We're back to Freeport. The Big Bend Tunnel of the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad is the setting of a ballad about what folk hero, a steel driver who competes with a steam drill? Spoiler alert, he both won and lost that competition. John Henry was that folk hero. We're back over to Boylan. What British author of De Cive wrote about the form and power of a commonwealth and called life in the state of nature brutish in his book, Leviathan?
Hobbs.
Yes, several people knew that one relatively quickly. Hobbs is correct. That's worth 10 points. Back over to Freeport. What body of water reached by Vasco Núñez de Balboa in 1513 bears a name meaning tranquil that was bestowed by Magellan's expedition?
Indian Ocean.
Incorrect. That body of water is the Pacific Ocean, and we are out of time for the round. That's how we ended. So Freeport's on the board. You've got 10 points. Boylan added to their total. They're up to 80. Halfway through the game, but our lightning round has lots of points on the line. In fact, 100 points if you run a category. We'll have that in just a bit, but first, you get to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question. We'll be back with the answer.
With more than 120 million viewers tuning in, which Super Bowl halftime performer sang alongside an infamous left shark and admitted she kissed a girl?
We are halfway through our last game of round one, where Boylan is on top of Freeport 80-10. Before we get to our lightning round with a lot of points on the line, how about pizza and pasta from Lino's of Rockford? That's the Bergstrom bonus question, and if you're playing at home, you saw this already. Our contestants haven't. Contestants, it's a buzz-in. Let me know if you know the answer to this. You will win that pizza and pasta for your team. With more than 120 million viewers tuning in, which Super Bowl halftime performer sang alongside an infamous left shark and admitted, Andrew?
Katy Perry.
That's right. She admitted she kissed a girl. Andrew, nice work. You get the pizza and pasta from Lino's. And in 2015, the now judge on American Idol actually performed the Super Bowl halftime show alongside Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott. Fun fact there about Katy Perry. Nice job, Andrew. Enjoy the pizza and the pasta. Enjoy this next 2-minute break or so while you're watching at home, and we'll be back with the NECA IBEW lightning round. All right, our halftime show, the Bergstrom bonus question is over. Andrew is celebrating his big victory of the Lino's Pizza and Pasta. Now we need to get to some more serious questions worth points. The NECA IBEW lightning round has a lot of those points. If you run one of these categories, it's 100 added to your score. And hasn't been done yet this season, but we've come pretty close. Maybe one of these teams will do it. Because of the coin flip, Freeport gets first pick. So Aiden, these are your 3 categories to choose from: Sherlock Holmes, Paris, or the Aloha State?
Paris.
Alex seemed to make that pick very, very quickly. We'll see how much she knows about Paris. Answer the following about Paris. There's no vagueness there, right? Nope. But it's a pretty broad category, so it could be a lot of things. You'll have 60 seconds to go through these 10, and then Andrew, you and the Titans will have 30 seconds to get to whatever they don't. Advice for both teams: you can pass if you need to, because remember the clock is running. Don't waste too much time on one single question. Answer the following about Paris. Aiden, are you ready?
Yep.
Here's the first one. Major river flowing through Paris.
Pass.
Paris subway system.
Pass.
Palace near Paris to which Louis XIV moved his court.
Palace of Versailles.
That's correct. Airborne vehicle pioneered by the Montgolfier brothers in Paris.
Hot air balloon.
Correct. Cathedral that caught fire in April 2019.
Notre Dame.
Correct. Arch at the west end of the Champs-Élysées.
Pass.
Paris-born sculptor of the Thinker.
Roten. Roten.
Incorrect. Cabaret, where the modern can-can developed.
Pass.
Paris-based organization that declares World Heritage Sites.
What? UNESCO.
Correct. Impressionist painter of Paris Street, Rainy Day.
Claude Monet.
Incorrect. Major river, and that's the time. We didn't have time to get back to that one. Not bad. You got 4 of them right, so you're up to 50 now. 40 points added to your score. There's 6 left on the board. Andrew, for you and the Titans, if you're paying attention, you could get through these quickly. Answer the following about Paris. Are you ready? You only have 30 seconds. I'll read them as quickly as I can. Here we go. Major river flowing through Paris.
Rhine.
Incorrect. The Paris subway system.
Pass.
Arch at the west end of the Champs-Élysées.
Arc de Triomphe.
Correct. The Paris-born sculptor of the Thinker.
Pass.
Cabaret, where the modern can-can developed.
Pass.
Impressionist painter of Paris Street, Rainy Day.
Bernini.
Incorrect. Paris subway system. And that's all we have time for. You added 10 to your score. You're up to 90. We'll go to the 5 that no one got really, really quickly. The river that flows through Paris is the Seine. The subway system is known as the Metro. The sculptor of the thinker is Rodin, Auguste Rodin. The cabaret where the modern-day Can-Can developed is the Moulin Rouge. And the impressionist painter of Paris Street Rainy Day is Caillebotte, Gustave Caillebotte. Now we are over to Boylan, where, Andrew, you get to pick from the 2 categories that are left, either Sherlock Holmes or the Aloha State.
My mom does travel agency for Hawaii. I think we should do Aloha.
Yeah, good idea.
Aloha State.
Aloha State is yours. Answer the following about Hawaii. Again, just as broad a category as that last one about Paris. Answer the following, 60 seconds for these 10. You're worth 100 points if you run it. Aiden, you and the team will get 30 seconds to get to what they don't. Ready? Its capital city.
Honolulu.
Honolulu.
Correct. Site of the naval base attacked by Japan on December 7th, 1941.
Pearl Harbor.
Correct. Hawaii's most populous island.
Oahu.
Correct. Hawaii-born author of The Audacity of Hope.
Pass.
4-letter word for a traditional Hawaiian party and feast.
Luau.
Correct. World's largest fruit and vegetable company, founded in Hawaii.
Pass.
First European explorer to reach Hawaii.
Pass.
Dish of diced raw fish whose name means to slice in Hawaiian.
Pass.
Hawaiian word for thank you.
Pass. Pass.
The current governor of Hawaii.
Pass.
Hawaii-born author of The Audacity of Hope.
Pass.
World's largest fruit and vegetable. Time is up. Nothing to go back to. 40 points added to your score. There's 6 left. Aiden, looks like you and the team are strategizing there. You've got 30 seconds to get to these 6. I will read them as quickly as I can. Answer the following about Hawaii. Are you ready for your first one?
All right.
Here it is. Hawaii-born author of The Audacity of Hope.
Pass.
World's largest fruit and vegetable company, founded in Hawaii.
Dole.
Correct. First European explorer to reach Hawaii.
Captain James Cook.
That's correct. The dish of diced raw fish whose name means to slice in Hawaiian.
Poke.
Correct. Hawaiian word for thank you.
Pass.
Current governor of Hawaii.
Pass.
Hawaii-born author of The Audacity of Hope.
Smith.
Incorrect, and that's the time. There's 3 left on the board. You added 30 points to your score, though. That's solid. You're up to 80. The ones that no one got, the 3 that are left, the Hawaii-born author of The Audacity of Hope, Barack Obama. Hawaiian word for thank you is mahalo, and the current governor of Hawaii is David Yutaka Ige. Probably the toughest one on the whole list. We are done with our lightning round, and it's only a 50-point game. Boylan has 130, Freeport has 80, and in our final challenge, each question is worth 20 points. So these scores could change very quickly. We'll see what happens right after this. A solid lightning round helped Freeport close the gap a little bit between them and Boylan. Boylan has 130 points. Freeport has 80, so it's a 50-point swing. Let's see if that is enough. We have seen teams close much wider gaps than that and end up winning. So this could change. This doesn't mean that the game is not over by any means. So our final challenge, our Mercy Health final challenge, is a buzz-in. Same rules as round 1, other than each question's worth 20 points. 2 most important rules: wait for me to say your name before you answer, and then say that answer loudly and clearly. Hands on your buzzers. Good luck to both of our teams. The final seat in the Sweet 16 is on the line, and here's the first question. What city lies on the Taedong River, contains the Juche Tower and the unfinished pyramid-shaped Rugyong Hotel? Alex.
Pyongyang.
That is correct. You didn't even need the most obvious clue. Capital of North Korea. 20 points for Freeport. What woman claimed the English throne for 9 days between the reigns of Edward... Alex.
Lady Jane Grey.
That is correct. Edward VI and Mary I. Freeport's off to 2 straight questions. New one. What novel, in which Miss Maudie and a cook named Calpurnia influenced the protagonist, depicts the trial of Tom Robinson and is by Harper Lee? Will.
How to Kill a Mockingbird?
Incorrect. Freeport. You have a chance for these 20 points. It'll put you in the lead. Aiden.
Judgment
Aiden
Day?
from Freeport. Say it again.
Judgment Day.
Incorrect. To Kill a Mockingbird. You added the how. It's To Kill a Mockingbird. New question for both teams. Hearing odd noises is one symptom of a syndrome that has affected American and Canadian embassy staff since 2016. Mateus.
Havana syndrome?
That is correct. It's named for what world capital because it was first reported in Havana. 20 points for Boylan.
Cuba?
New question. What number is the atomic number of nitrogen? And Mateus.
5.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Freeport. And the number of colors into which Isaac Newton divided the rainbow, as in Aiden from Freeport.
7.
That's correct. In the mnemonic Roy G. Biv, and those are Freeport's 20 points. What term for a taxon containing a single organism and all its descendants names a field of genetics? Alex.
Taxonomy?
Incorrect. Boylan, you could take these 20 points. Go ahead, Will.
Mendelian?
Incorrect. Clade is what we needed, or a monophyletic taxon. We could have taken that. New question. What older brother of manga ordered 2 failed invasions of Japan, was the first ruler of the Yuan dynasty, and was a grandson of Genghis Khan? Alex.
Kublai Khan?
Kublai Khan is correct, created the city of Xanadu. Those are your 20 points. You're now on top, Freeport. What Canadian-born architect designed the Guggenheim Bilbao and the Walt Disney Concert Hall? Will.
Lloyd?
Incorrect. Freeport, you could get these 20. Go ahead, Aiden.
Howard.
Incorrect. Gary. Frank Owen Gary. What province, whose most populous cities are Summerside and Charlottetown, is Canada's smallest province and is often abbreviated PEI? Aiden from Freeport.
Edwards Island.
Incorrect. Boylan. Go ahead, Will.
Point Edwards Island?
Incorrect. Prince Edward Island. You needed that exact title. New question. What 2-word name denotes the period of dirt storms and arid conditions that impacted the lower Midwest? Alex.
Dust Bowl?
That's correct. During the Great Depression, 20 points for Freeport. And that long buzzer means the game is over. Overcoming that deficit and on top by 30 points, Freeport, you are moving on to the next round. Boylan, we talked a little bit about how those scores could change really quickly. Sometimes you're on one end of that, sometimes you're not. This is the toughest part of the game because it's when we have to say goodbye to a team who played so hard. You did so well this whole game. We were glad that you played. I hope you still had a good experience, even though you didn't move on. It's time for our senior send-off. How many of you are seniors? So 3 of the 4 of you at least are on the stage now. So that means, Aiden, you are forming the core of next season's team, and we want you back next year. Is that a deal? You and I have a deal. Okay, very cool. And Freeport, congratulations. You earned that last spot in the Sweet 16. Alex is smiling through her glasses and her mask. You can see it in her eyes. There's no hiding that. Nice job. You will face Winnebago in that Sweet 16. Next week, join us for our Round 1 wrap-up show. And then after that, we begin Round 2, where Auburn takes on Stockton. Hope to see you then.